zooming back into a Saturday around noon if you're on the West Coast. It's going to be early afternoon if you're on the East Coast, and that's Alabama, number 5 here at your Sports Outpost, at Florida State in Tallahassee to take on the Seminoles. How many possessions will the Crimson Tide win by? Yeah, we're expecting some blowouts here in week 1 for these high-profile games. And this is another one where the Crimson Tide are just going to have their way, I think. Florida State has just not been the Florida State of 2023. Also, they beat LSU under Brian Kelly. That's not much of a high praise kind of win. And yeah, we'll see. Because you guys, the Seminoles offensive line probably isn't going to protect their new quarterback out of Boston College, Tommy Castellone. Oh my goodness, I can't even say his last name. Let's keep moving. But he's not going to protect him enough. Castellonis, he's just going to be a guy that's going to be eaten up. More than half his production was cut in half from 2023 to 2024. There's a reason why he got benched at Boston College, and then somehow he ended up over there in Florida State. This might be similar to DJU's situation going into 2024. I think a lot of hype, but just not going to live up to it. Again, this offensive line is going to have to deal with this defensive front. That is going to be a man down. There was some news right before we went live. Tim Keenum III, one of the defensive linemen for Alabama, is ruled out because he's going to go undergo some surgery that's going to keep him injured and on the IR for at least the opening part of the season. I think he is slated to be back eventually midway through the Crimson Tide schedule. But for at least this one, I don't think it's going to be much of a loss, as they definitely got guys down in the trenches. You still got Smith. You still got Rashaw. You got Latham behind him. Still one of the best defensive lines in all of college football still for Alabama going into this one, and why they're going to dominate quite a bit. And then on top of that, Ty Simpson shows the nation why he's going to be QB1 for the Crimson Tide going forward. A lot of disrespect for that young man as of late. I know Keelan Russell, great prospect, a guy that's going to be the future of the Alabama Crimson Tide going, maybe he competes with Simpson if he's still around next season. And then, is finally going to be the guy at least for the season after that. Maybe he transfers out. We've already seen Alabama Crimson Tide quarterbacks that have come in from the recruiting class go out this post-Saban era. Obviously, because of Saban just leaving, he's gone for good in a way, even though I think he has an office there in Tuscaloosa. Regardless, Ty Simpson again proves why he's QB1. A great athlete. In the film that I watched him in, he's just a very, very quick decision to book it. If he doesn't see anything, he's going to use his feet, or at least get the ball out of the pocket and protect it for the most part. I thought all of his showings last year were pretty more than decent, and I wasn't surprised that he was not only competing for the starting job, but he was going to win it over Austin Mack, who came in with Kalen DeBoer from UW last season as his kind of transfer quarterback, and actually won the backup job. I know his game against USF under Saban in 2023 wasn't the prettiest, but I think he was a very young quarterback, was kind of just getting himself into the collegiate level along with that, and we should expect his progression to get better and better. We'll see how far he can throw the ball down the field. Maybe a little bit better, I think, than Jalen Milroe. Jalen Milroe was more just a great runner, can just evade a lot of pressure, just not in the NFL, if you know what I mean, if you watch those preseason games already. But yeah, Ty Simpson should be just a very impressive quarterback that just raises eyes of oh, I didn't know he had this in him. Of course, you just didn't watch enough film, didn't believe in this new Bama quarterback. Kind of thing of concern is the running back situation for Alabama. Jam Miller goes down with a season-ending injury before any kickoff, any snap goes into this 2025 campaign. So the running back situation, you got Richard Young, and Daniel Hill. Those two guys are stepping up. We'll see if they can work well with this offensive line. That is number one, I think, in the country. You got Brailsford, who's a returning center that also came along with Kalen DeBoer. Played in that national championship against Michigan. You have Caden Proctor, who's going to be one of the top tackles off the board. Great pass block. Oh, no. He's better run blocker, sorry, is what I was going to say there. We'll see if his pass blocking actually improves. And then alongside him, Dewberry, who transfers in from Texas A&M. I think that left side of the offensive line, you're going to see Young and Hill have a lot of good holes to run through right there this upcoming season. And then, you have Montgomery, who's stepping up. If I'm not mistaken, no, it's his name is escaping my brain. Is it Monroe Feeling? That might be the guy at Georgia. I cannot remember the right tackle. Regardless, let's keep moving. It doesn't really matter because most of the action on the run game is going to go on that left side. So Alabama, I think, is going to win by more than what they're predicted by. They have a 13.5 point spread in favor of them. I think they're going to hit 21 point difference. It's going to be pretty ugly there in Tallahassee, but what's new? They're kind of used to it at the moment under Mike Norvell. And maybe that's kind of one of the games that's starting to be, are we going to get rid of this guy or are we going to keep him around kind of situations? As who do you think is going to win between Alabama and Florida State? Do you think it's a good question to ask of like how many possessions that the Crimson Tide are going to win by? I think a full 3. Let us know down below who you think and how many by.